Welcome to the party, everybody. My name is Javier Payano. I'm excited to invite you to our first community call. We'll be talking all things mentors program today. So this will be a great informational time for us to share what we've been cooking up, what's going on in the background of the Human Values Collective organization, and then also hopefully serve as something that we can share out to other people who may be interested in joining the mentors program. So a little bit of just kind of background stuff. We started the Human Values Collective in 2018 when we discovered an educational program called Education in Human Values. And we thought it was so great that we wanted to dedicate our lives to promoting this work and helping, yes, classroom teachers, but as we'll continue talking about, everyone's a teacher, and we need teachers of all kinds to do this work so that we can have this movement of transforming education, so that it's something that teaches the entire student. It teaches holistically, because we are not compartmental beings, we are one whole entity. And so to teach each part of us is super valuable. Social, the emotional, the physical, the mental, the intuitive, and the spiritual. And I find the last one especially interesting because within educational context, saying the word spirit or spiritual is a big no-no. I even got in trouble this year for saying the word light. So there you go. But what I like to think about human values, it's a way to teach, you could say, spiritual laws or spiritual wisdom in a completely secular way that is very understandable to even the youngest student in kindergarten. So with all that being said, we got some good information to share with you and make some time at the end for people to ask questions. But let's start the way I start every single class period of every single day, with our nervous system regulation exercise. So what I'm inviting everyone to do right now is just tap on your forehead like this. And as we tap on our forehead, we're going to make an intention to think good thoughts. All an intention is I've been looking in this direction my whole life. What would happen if I look in this direction for a little bit? And how would that look? This doesn't mean you have to always think happy thoughts or that you're doing it wrong if you think a negative thought. It just increases our chances of success, because whatever we command our body to do, our body usually listens and responds. Now go ahead and with your hand tap on your heart area. I like to call this the heart high five. And as you're tapping on your heart area, you're making an intention to feel good feelings. Again, not that you're letting yourself down or anyone down by feeling bad or feeling any negative kind of feeling. We're just making an intention here, because what we look for tends to show up. So we're making an intention to feel good feelings. We're making a pre-decision. If there is any kind of choice, I'm going to choose a happy feeling. Now finally, rub your palms together. And as you're rubbing your palms together, feel the heat that's generated when you rub your palms together. And here we're making an intention to do good, to do things that are useful to yourself and to others. And sometimes it's things we don't want to do in the moment, but always feel good to have done. And we do this because we know that good actions lead to good thoughts lead to good feelings lead to good actions, so on and so forth. Take a deep breath in and out. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, stretch out your arms and legs, stretch in any way that feels good. And when you're ready, if you had your eyes closed, go ahead and open your eyes again. And here we are together. So grateful. And as we continue to let people in to join this incredible conversation, my heart is filled with joy and with love at everyone gathered here tonight. So once again, my name is Javier Payano. I have the honor to serve as the president of the Human Values Collective for the last 6 years that we've been in this work as an organization. And I want to introduce my partner over here, Jamie Umansor, who also serves as the Human Values Collective board chair. Jamie, say hello.
Hi, everyone. Jamie, I use they, she pronouns. Nice to meet you. Excited to be here and support this work.
All right. And then we're going to move forward and ask everyone to just briefly introduce themselves and just say, how are you feeling tonight? Can I ask Christina to go first? You can respond on the mic or in the chat.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Christina Clemens. I missed the first couple minutes, so I guess I'm just saying hi. I am friends with Javier through teaching. I also work with him as a high school teacher, and I'm really excited to be here. I'm feeling very rested for the first time in a long time, so that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling very rested and very content.
Thank you so much. Sunny, why don't you come on next? Long day, but it's going well. Thank you so much. Megan, how you doing today? You can respond on mic or in chat.
Hi there. It's good to be here with everyone. Um, I'm coming in after a long day. And I'm excited to settle in with you folks a little bit. I might be on the quieter side, but I'm really pleased to be here.
Thank you. Show up as you are. I love it. I'm glad you're here, Megan. We're new friends, so that's exciting that you jumped in. Ivan, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Looking forward to some paid time off on Friday and Monday. So practicing self-care.
Ivan was a former student of mine, and throwing out the self-care there, Ivan, you're well versed in human values and practicing. I'll send it to another former student. Esteban, how you doing today? Mic or chat? 7-Eleven coffee. I love that 7-Eleven coffee feeling. Esteban, thanks for being here. And then Italia. Oh man, the my former students are packing the house tonight. Italia, how you doing today?
Everyone. I'm feeling really good, feeling really present, and excited to learn more.
Thank you so much. Very glad that you're present here. And I just want to kind of launch in today. I'm just feeling super grateful that everyone is here, and here's the reason. I had an experience that I want to share with you all. This was last week. We had our primary elections in Chicago, and I was working a polling place because I was encouraging people to vote yes on an initiative called Bring Chicago Home. And there's mixed feelings about this because I don't want to go too far into it, but it's basically spending transfer fees for houses sold over $1 million. So we're not talking everybody here. We're talking 5% of houses sold in the city of Chicago. So those transfer fees would then go to house unhoused people. And when I posted a video of myself dancing outside the polling place, yeah, come on, everybody, let's do it. Let's help people find houses, right? I got the most hate I've ever gotten on social media in my life from posting that video, from specifically people who, I know some of them are just scared. They're worried about their well-being and their family. But there are certain people who make comments about, I don't care about homeless people and I don't care about immigrants. And I'm cleaning my language, just to let you know, right? It was way worse, way more hateful than that. And then so I had this experience. Well, first thing I said was, this is what success looks like. Because I must be saying something important if it's causing such a reaction in people, right? Now, I noticed that the people who were against helping your fellow human being were very active. They were writing comments. But then I noticed that there were a lot of people who loved that post loved the video of me dancing to support homeless people. So that I took two things: is violence is loud and fast. Creation is slow and silent. So right away, because my mind starts going to overthinking place, let me focus on what's actually happening here. Actually, these people who are being quote unquote hateful, they're actually just afraid because they really think that homeless people and immigrants are the problem. So everyone here I know has a more nuanced perspective than that. And the other thing is that there's a lot of people who silently agree with me, but won't say anything, or don't want to say anything, or can't say anything, or whatever the reason is. And I had this moment in that space where I had been kind of in this place of doubt for a long time. Like, what am I actually doing? Like, is anything, are people going to show up to this? And I just like doubting myself. And so after that moment of receiving that experience, it redoubled my effort and redoubled my passion for creating community and for using this community as a place where people can grow and getting people to care about other human beings. Because that's what I witness, is people saying, I just don't care about homeless people. I don't care about immigrants. Now I can do my spiritual work and I can say, okay, I know this person is saying this on the outside, on the surface, but deep down, if I was to really drill in and dig in with these people, we would discover all sorts of reasons of like how they were hurt in the past, or how the government's let them down, or how other people, like, they've lost their job. There's always going to be some story. So my job, what I've decided, because I'm choosing to embody the 5 universal human values of education and human values, which are love, truth, peace, nonviolence, and right action, because I chose to embody that for myself in my life, I am choosing to see that these people, they're just afraid. They're just afraid, right? I'm also not going to spend my time trying to convince them. My only option, my choice, let's say, not my only option, there's always many options. But what I'm choosing to do is to create a community of people who do want to embody those positive human values, who want to become a mentor to themselves and want to become a mentor to the world. And that can be through teaching, that could be through tutoring, that can be through helping people with their mental health, that can be through DEI work, diversity, equity, inclusion. Oh, DEI is coming up a lot online these days. That's another conversation for another time. But this is giving me more passion, more impetus, saying, you know what, this mentors program, this is it. This is the thing that I want to do and invite people to. This is there's a Indian word, or maybe it's Sanskrit, called dharma. Dharma is the thing that you were born to do, your part, your role. So that when I see violence and hate in the world, if I'm not doing my dharma, if I'm not doing my meaningful work, if I'm not contributing to peace, freedom, and right action in the world, if I'm doing work that's not aligned with my own values, I will feel badly. I will feel powerless. I will feel hopeless. However, this has happened to me a lot recently. When I see terrible, violent things happening in the world, and I am doing my dharma, I'm doing work that's aligned with my personal values, I feel a certain amount of peace, even in the face of difficult things happening, because at least I'm doing my part. And then my mind can start playing tricks on me and saying, oh, you're not really doing that much. You're just doing the Human Values Collective. You're just doing the mentorship program. What does that do? Well, you know what? mind. I have to talk to my mind like that sometimes. And I'll say, like, I'm trusting that to have peace in the world, I need to first have peace in my heart, peace in my mind, peace in my action. And in human values education, we call that the 3 H's: head, heart, and hands. I need to have an alignment between what I think, what I feel, and what I do. And as long as I'm doing my part and I'm working to inspire the people around me and helping them to inspire the people around them, who knows how far that domino effect is going to go. And I have to have faith in that. And if I don't have faith in that, I don't know what to have faith in. Because what I can have faith in is in myself and my ability to create community and my ability to teach human values and my ability to encourage other people as they create their own initiatives. Now let's look really closely at the work that we're all doing. You might be a teacher. You might be someone working to become a psychologist or a therapist. You might be a caregiver. So you might be there's many things that you're doing. No matter what you're doing is your secondary purpose. Your primary purpose is to give and receive love. Your primary purpose is to expand love and freedom in the world. Your primary purpose is to give your gifts to the world, your love and your presence. Whatever you do to do that is your secondary purpose, right? Now I'm teaching music. In 5 years, it looks like something else. You could be a therapist and have lots and lots of clients and actually literally having an effect on people's healing. Or you could be working at the car wash. But your level of consciousness and your level of presence might make you more effective at spreading love as a car wash person. But a therapist whose heart is not in it might be doing more damage than the person at the car wash. Is everyone with me? So it's not important necessarily what you do, but it's important how you do it. What values are you embodying as you're doing the work that you're doing, right? So now I'm saying all of that, and there's always a primary purpose no matter what you're doing. Thank you, Andrea. And the point that I'm making here is you can still mentor, you can still teach, you can still serve, no matter what position you're currently holding right now. You can start today, you can start now, influencing the people around you. Oh, but I'm not a leader, la, la, la. I'm not. You know who's not hesitant about being a leader? People who are doing not right action. So a lot of us that have shown up in this space, I just know it. I know it because you're like me. You care about people. And so what we've understood, some of us, is caring about people means letting everybody walk all over us. That's one extreme we've gone to, because we don't like this extreme of like, oh, I don't care about homeless people. I don't care about immigrants. And we're like, I don't want to be like that. But we went too far in the other direction. And now we're like letting people walk all over us. And like, oh, everything is okay. And when people apologize to us, we're like, oh, it's okay. Never mind. Nothing happened. Like, I know it. I know it because I was there. Sometimes I'm still there a little bit, but I'm much more nowadays here. So what happens when we spend too much time over here? What I've recently heard from Dr. Gabor Mate is 80% of women are experiencing some kind of autoimmune disease, and that stems from not communicating our feelings, not communicating our needs, not communicating our anger, not communicating what we're going through, and just letting other people have their way all of the time. Just letting other people get away with it all the time. Just letting other people do what they want all the time. And on the surface saying, oh, it's okay. But deep down, there's this resentment that builds. How come they get to do whatever they want? And I'm over here, I'm trying so hard to be a good person. We got to cut that out, people. We got to stand up and be like, with kindness, F off. Or with kindness, no. Kindness doesn't mean being a doormat and letting everybody walk all over you. Kindness is a very, very strong thing. It's being able to, like I did earlier, is see the good, even in the super person who's behaving negatively, be able to say no, but still love them. You can kick them out of your life, but don't kick them out of your heart. So these are the kind of people who don't care about immigrants, who don't care about homeless people. Those are the kind of people raising their hands to become leaders without a hesitation. So I need you all to not hesitate anymore. I need you to raise your hand and say, I'm a leader. Do it right now. Write in the comments, I'm a leader. Let's start right now and say, I'm a leader, okay? And we're gonna move forward for our own health, for just the health in our body, people, but also for the health of the community that we serve. And I think we're on the same page here. Any questions so far before we start to talk about the Mentors Program? What is the Mentors Program? Wonderful. Let's jump in and welcome Win, truly a leader right there. All right, everyone. So if you go to humanvaluescollective.org/mentorship, you're going to see this page that has all of the information about what is the Mentors Program. What we used to do at the Human Values Collective was we used to have yearly 3-day workshops, and those were great, but it was just like, okay, see you next year, bye. Whatever is that's the meme of the kid fading, like, let's hang out over summer, and then they just fade into nothingness, right? That was what we were doing. So I wanted something was like, we need ongoing support, especially teachers, caregivers, parents, people who are working with people. When you pour out so much into other people, you need ongoing support. And in order to start to develop these habits of like believing in myself, my truth matters, stand my ground, say no to what does not serve, say yes to what does serve, do the good things that feel good to have done but may not feel good to initiate. We need, how much time do I need in order to build a new habit? Who can tell me? How much time do I need in order to build a new habit? Everyone has a different answer. Someone said 21 days, someone else said 44 days. Let's say more than 3 days, right? So, and everything else that I'm learning about humanity and humanness and being together, it's stay close to the fire. Our ancestors literally gathered around the fire every night, yes, to cook and eat, but also to tell stories, to play music together, to dance. Just looking at the fire, it does something to our physiology that keeps us in a good health. But when we look at capitalist systems, what is everything causing? Everything is causing us to individuate and to isolate. So everyone has their own apartment, their own building, lock on the door, you don't come in here, everyone buy their own lawnmower instead of us sharing resources, right? It's very normal for us to just be individual. And what I'm gathering from this practice, education, and human values is we need a way to be together, to get together. So here we go through the power of Zoom. We're making it happen tonight, and we're inviting people into the Mentors Program so that we can all stay close to the fire and keep learning from each other. So the Mentors Program is starting next week. And what I have been noticing when I'm thinking, what do teachers need? Many teachers got into it because they want to make a difference, but also teachers burn out. I feel that the educational system, which was not made for our long-term well-being, people know that we care about students, and they use that to their advantage to get us to do extra work. And then so there's all of these things that we say yes to because, again, we're pushovers, but they don't actually help us to help ourselves, our own well-being. They don't help us to help our students. Everything is all about the academic success, but how can students have any kind of academic success unless they have social and emotional success? So all of these things come together. You can see here the educational system is not set up for the long-term well-being of teachers and students. And so everyone, it takes a village. It takes a village. So even if someone is not a teacher in the classroom, you have siblings, or you tutor, or you do something. If you have contact with a young person, or you're influential in your group of friends, there's a lot of beneficial things that you can get in this program. So would you love to feel mentally strong and confident in being able to handle the challenges of being a teacher? Would you like to be able to be an inspirational leader and help other people live happier lives? Yes, you would. Would you like to be a master of relationships and nurture strong connections with coworkers and loved ones? These are all things that we all need. The number one predictor of success, there's like a 40-year or more Harvard study suggesting the number one indicator of health is strong relationships. These are relationships that revere conflict rather than push away from conflict. Because right now we live in an automatic world. We get what we want automatically. So all of a sudden, when we have a friendship and it starts to kind of bother us a little bit that they think a certain way, or just things aren't clicking, we tend to just break it up instead of, well, what's actually going on? Sometimes we're not even communicating about the same thing. So let's actually go into conflict, right? So this is one of the values, nonviolent communication. These are all examples of how you're going to have incredible relationships, especially after this program. A little bit about me as the instructor this year. I had this experience as a very, very young teacher where I wanted my students to be happy, but I didn't realize how unhappy I was because I was still in people pleaser mode. I was still giving everybody else what they wanted and none left for me. I thought of it as a cup of water. I got my jar right here. So I'm pouring my water into all these little cups throughout the day as a teacher. Oh, you want some love? You get some love. You get some love. You get some love. And then the jar was empty at the end of the day and I had nothing. I didn't know how to refill my own cup. And then I got this visual of this cup, my cup, at the top of a pyramid of cups. And I was filling my own cup so much. The water is love, by the way. I was filling my own cup so much that it was overflowing and spilling over and filling everyone else's cup. And I realized that this was the way. So I go to a human values workshop. That's where I met my wife, Andrea. And that's when I started to practice education in human values in my classroom. I remember getting all this great information, and I don't want to overwhelm you all. We'll have 13 whole weeks to do this together. I said to the professor, where do I start? And the professor said, start with one thing, just write the thought of the week on the board. And that's what I did. I wrote the thought of the week on the board, and I didn't even say it to the kids. Hey, everybody, we're going to do human values now. No, I just wrote the thought of the week on the board. No grit, no pearl. And I left it there. And then like week 2, a kid goes, what is that you're writing on the board? And I said, oh, well, let me tell you. This is a program that I'm doing for my own mental health. It's called Education in Human Values. So each week I'm just going to write a quote on the board. Oh, okay, cool. And that was it. And I just did that for a little while longer. Then I started playing some songs and the group activity, and we can get into what all the teaching techniques are. But it starts with a very simple commitment to give the students some kind of value every single week. And that is systematic. And sometimes we don't like systematic because it feels like a box. But here's the thing. Imagine all of the negative messaging that is out there in the world. Imagine all of the negative messaging that our children are receiving. Imagine the negative messaging that you are saying to your own brain and body on a daily basis. So if that negative messaging is so all pervasive, so too must our antidote be. So too must our positive messaging be constant, ever pervasive. And that's why another tenet of education and human values is we're going to practice these human values in our personal lives first, because students do not learn from what you tell them. They learn from your example. Right now, I'm looking at this book. It's called the Satya Sai Education and Human Values. This is the manual for teachers, the Indian version, because all of this stuff comes from this teacher named Satya Sai in India. He wrote here, children of all ages have one thing in common. They close their ears to advice and open their eyes to example. So the only way to teach is through example. And a lot of teachers, when I go to workshops and webinars and I lead these exercises for teachers, a lot of teachers are like, just give me the formula. What's the formula? And there is no formula. The work is about doing the work in your personal life, waking up every morning and saying the thought of the week, getting into that energetic space of, ooh, I love myself. Ooh, I'm so amazing. Can everybody just say right now, I love myself? Ooh.
I do myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Win. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, everyone who said it. I don't know everyone who said it, but I know some of you probably hesitated a little bit there, didn't you? I felt some of us hesitating because we're not encouraged to do this. We're not encouraged to say, I love myself. And that's why we need to be the example of that for our students. Is this stuff starting to sink in, y'all? I hope so, because our students really desperately need our example. Yeah, so well-being is a skill we learn better when we practice together. And here we're gonna learn the important life lessons they never taught us in school. And that just, I feel like that should be a tagline, Jamie, for us, because I'm always talking about the things we didn't learn in school, the things we didn't learn in school. Some of these critical things we should have been learning in school. But then I start to remember, oh, schools, the way they aren't built for our emotional well-being. They just are not. And some teachers, bless their heart, are doing the best that they can. So that's why when I have a student that says something positive to me, like, I really appreciate you this, I really appreciate that, like, it makes a huge difference for me, because it's like, okay, I know I'm doing the right thing. Now, this is something that I learned at the school in Thailand. So there's several of us, Andrea, Miran, on our leadership team. We actually went to this school in Thailand and we spent 3 months learning education and human values. And we were teaching English to the kindergartners. We were teaching music to the older students. We were taking classes from teachers from Bangkok, from Singapore, from India. Teachers were just coming to give us these awesome learnings about education and human values. So it was beautiful. And I'll never forget, Mr. Singh was talking about selfless service. And he said, selfless service is the most selfish thing you can do, because the spiritual and emotional benefit that you get will far outweigh the service that you give. Now think of the last time you truly served somebody. You gave them something that they couldn't do by themselves, and they were like, thank you so much. Now, maybe if you're still recovering from your people pleaser syndrome, you might have been like, oh, no, it was nothing. So if you did that last time, no shame. But from now on, I want you to say this. When someone says thank you, I want you to say, I receive that. Let's practice that right now. Hey, y'all, thank you so much for coming to the community call tonight. I really appreciate you for that.
I received that.
Hey, when you are leading the way with your example, everyone else can type it in the chat. I receive that, because they're just trying to give you love. And anything that you say that's not thank you or I receive that, you're rejecting that love. So please receive the love that someone is trying to give you, right? And in that giving of that service and receiving what comes with it, we go into the satisfaction. And I love talking about this. This is brand new. This comes from Abraham Hicks that Andrea and I have been listening to every morning, because the morning and the evening are the times that your subconscious mind is the most impressionable. So whatever you do to get the vibe right, do it at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. Very important. So sometimes you're working really hard. You're working with your own kids, you're working with students, you're working with your coworkers and colleagues, and you're trying to be an example of kindness in the world. And it just seems like no one's taking the hint. Why won't you all take the hint? No one is taking the hint. And so here's where we come in with this idea of from service to satisfaction. And this is one of the things that we are going to dive deeper into in the program is when we work towards the results, we must be unattached from the results. So we're going to work really hard to be examples of love, truth, peace, nonviolence, and right action in the lives of our children. And we're not going to freak out when we see them just doing the same old behavior they were always doing. We have to trust that what we're doing, we're planting seeds, and we may not see those flowers blossom for years, but we're trusting that those seeds are being planted. And we're resting in the satisfaction of just doing the work. So a lot of teachers are very afraid when their students aren't doing well, because if my students don't do well, I could lose my job. And I know there are some extreme situations for teachers where it really is that hostile, but then that's an issue with the leadership team at the school, right? Leadership team should be doing their best job to help people to feel at ease and safe and relaxed, because that's when you get the best results from teachers and students, okay? So a teacher's under a lot of pressure to make sure their kid learns. So then if there's a kid who's struggling for a million reasons, they don't have a stable place to live. They had to take 2 trains and 2 buses to get to school. They haven't had breakfast because they got to school late. They can't afford to go to lunch. They are having issues with their parents. They're having issues with kids at school. They have no friends at school. I go on and on. There's many reasons why kids are traumatized and not ready to learn. But if the teacher is also traumatized and under pressure to make sure that this kid learns, if this kid's not learning, then the teacher comes at the kid harder, as if that was going to work. They start getting punitive with their kid, especially if that's what they're receiving from their leadership. And so we just pass on the trauma. And I clearly had a moment where I had a student and I was in this world and I was just like angry at the student. Man, the student's not showing up. They're failing their class. And then it's like I'm angry at the student when I'm just angry at the situation. I'm eating lunch with another professor. The student comes in. Oh, hi, Mr. Payano. And then I go, oh, hey, I noticed you weren't in class again today. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you just kind of not want to go to class? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I left it at that. And she's like, we had a little more conversation, but I was just like wishing you the best and this and that. And it was great. It was like this weight was lifted on. And that was the moment I said, oh, I can divorce how I feel about a student from how they're doing in my class. And I know it seems like a simple thing, but no one told me that. I can still show lots of love to a student, even if they're failing my class, even if they're just choosing not to go. So what? I was taking myself way too seriously. A lot of teachers take themselves way too seriously because there's this pressure of the teacher has to perform. But that pressure, where is that coming from? It's almost like this invisible presence on the lives of teachers, like have to do this, have to do that, even though these things that we have to do are not aligned with our personal life philosophy, let alone our educational philosophy. We all know punitive measures don't work. We all know students are traumatized. We need a trauma-informed approach to teaching. So we work towards the goals. We do our best to work with the students that we have in front of us, but we have zero attachment to the outcome. Why? Not because we don't care about the student's outcome. It's actually so that we can be more relaxed, so that we can regulate our nervous system, so that we can feel safe, so that we can regard that student with love when they do show up. And then from a calm and loving place, help them to get there. And we'll be so much more effective when we rest in the satisfaction of doing the work rather than the attachment of the result of the work. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, any questions so far? We'll have a lot of time for questions at the end, but I do want to jump in if we need to clarify things here and there. Loving it. Education and human values can transform teaching. We've seen it happen in the school in Thailand. When I was there, I just saw how happy the students were. And I wanted that for my students. I saw how absolutely, because they're at a boarding school from K to 12 in the rural mountains of Thailand. And every single teacher in every single classroom teaches the value of the week and the thought of the week and several activities. Every teacher gets a handout at the beginning of the week. Say, we're teaching hope this week. This week, we're teaching resilience. This week, we're teaching compassion. And every teacher in every classroom does it. And that was my vision for my school. And now my vision is growing, my people. So what happens when teachers feel safe and when students feel humanized? Incredible things can happen. And actually, students will go above and beyond what's expected of them when they feel loved and cared for by the teacher. Actually, you know, there's this thing that says, oh, I'm hard on my students because when they get in the real world, I want them to have resilience. So we have every teacher doing that. And then kid hates school because they're like, all my teachers are hard asses. Oops. Studies show that if a student has even one teacher in their educational journey, if they have even one teacher that they sense cares about them and loves them, that's enough for them to build resilience for the future. Think of it as you are the lighthouse. You are the lighthouse, and all you do is you just shine your love on the kids. When they go out into that big bad world and they encounter challenges, wouldn't you want them to be able to see the light and make their way back home when they need to? So if a person has everyone in their life saying, I gotta be tough on you, there's no lighthouse, it's just darkness. We have an opportunity to be the lighthouse. And how does that work? By teaching one human value each week through the 5 teaching techniques, which are thought of the week, song, group activity, story, and meditation. So if the value of the week is compassion, then our thought of the week is walk a mile in my shoes. And then the song could be self-compassion, self-compassion, I always first give love to me. Maybe the group activity is sharing a time you were scared and what helped you. And then we're sharing with each other. Then story, meditation. So everything that week goes to helping the student developing their own definition, awareness, and embodiment of that value. And at the end of 37 weeks, I've had many students report that they have more self-confidence, better mental health, more confidence in making decisions about their life, better relationship with parents, better relationship with friends, more risk-taking, going out for that club, going out for that sport, and just in general, enjoying life more. And isn't that what we want for our young people? And if people are loving themselves, they're much more prone to create rather to destroy, which is what I'm after. So this is why we created the mentors program. because we believe that everyone is a teacher and everyone through their example has the chance to have a profound impact on the lives of the young people around them. Even people our age can be impacted and influenced by the way that we show up. We don't just talk about human values, we actually just embody the human values. So when people see us, they feel love, they feel peace, they feel that we'll be honest with them. They feel that we're working to do good things in the world. And that inspires and attracts people. And that's what we want to do. So everyone is a teacher. Doesn't matter if you're teaching in the classroom or not. And so these are the objectives of our program together: learning the principles of education and human values, strategies for implementing them in your classroom or community. Each person will have access to our 40-week curriculum that you can peruse and pick and choose which values do you want to do. Most of you are receiving our emails. If not, sign up on the website. That's a brand new practice guide that goes out each week with a new value, new thought of the week, etc. This program will, at the very end, include people creating an initiative. That can be, you're already a teacher and this is how you plan to start using human values in your classroom. This can be, I'm a parent and I'm gonna write the human value of the week on a piece of paper, put that on the fridge, or we're gonna have a family meeting every week and I'm gonna share the value of the week with my kids. This could be, you have a hostile work environment and you wanna create an art therapy group that meets on Thursdays after work and you wanna talk about things. So, or this could be, I want to start my own business. And when I start my own business, I want to figure out what are my core values and I want to inculcate those values into everything I do towards my business, right? So again, I think because we come from this world of prioritizing kindness and compassion, that means that we step aside and we let someone else lead. No, now is a time for you to lead. If you have an idea to start a business, now is the time to start it. If you have an idea to start a community, to start whatever it is, now is the time. You've got me to support you. And I'm invested in you making a positive impact in the world, because what else is there to do? The only thing to do is to increase love and increase peace and increase joy in the world, to lessen suffering and increase freedom. What else is there to do? And it was Miriam Kaba. Miriam Kaba is a incredible Chicago activist and teacher. She charges us, in order to create the world of freedom that we're all dreaming about, we need 1,000 little projects. Everyone create 1,000 little projects and we're gonna see what works. So here's my project, y'all, and I'm inviting you to it in the hopes that you'll figure out through our guidance what are your core human values that you believe in it, and how are you going to bring those out into the world through your initiative, through your classroom, or through your community. So the Mentors program is 13 live online classes starting on Tuesday, April 2nd, and those calls are going to be from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So included with this program, you have guided meditations. This we meet every Sunday night on Zoom. You can schedule a call with me to talk about things one-on-one. Maybe if there's other questions that you don't want to ask here, we can schedule a call and talk about it. You can sign up to get those weekly email resources. And then I'm going to keep doing community calls and meetups like the one we're on tonight. The installments for the program is 12 installments of, actually it's 33. I also have made some guarantees. This is because I believe in this work so much. If after 4 sessions you decide, you know what, this is not for me, this is not the community that I feel connected to and uplifted by. If after 4 classes you've decided that it's not for you, your money back, no questions asked. After 12 months, if you've been practicing human values faithfully in your daily life and in your classroom or community, and you're not seeing any kind of benefits, then let us know and we will refund your money, no questions asked. This is because we believe in this work so much. We've done incredible work for the last 3 years of the Mentors program. We've transformed people's lives. And I actually wanted to invite Jamie to speak right now and just share. Jamie, what's been your experience participating in the Mentors program for the last 3 years and why you keep coming back? Are you available to share right now?
I am. Thank you, Javier. Hi, everyone. So as Javi mentioned, I have been a part of the Mentors program for the last 3 years. And why do I keep coming back? Because it has genuinely changed my life and my healing journey. Even I would even say 2 weeks ago, I finally felt like I was in a place where I am no longer holding past pains from my childhood against my father as an example, which that has been a long journey. I am 43 and only now have I been able to really, because of everything that we've done together through this program, do I recognize and understand and no longer hold, take anything personally that my father did or even hold it against him because of his limitations and what he's dealing with. And that's just my personal life. Also, my relationship, earlier Javi talked about a ripple effect. And I haven't shared this with anyone. I was talking with my partner yesterday, in fact, and I asked him a question. And he did something he has not done before. I asked him a question about, do you prefer this or that? And he practiced saying it out loud to himself, both choices. And he didn't know this is what he did, but he basically did a body scan. How did it make me feel? And so the decision he went with was based on that body scan. And it was such a breakthrough for him, especially as a person who was raised in a way where expressing your feelings or even scanning for your feelings is not allowed. And then in my work, I am a business owner and I do DEI work myself and didn't know that I was doing education and values until I met this group in a corporate setting. And so the way that I run my meetings is very much in alignment with this model. And continually, I get feedback on how, especially the most disenfranchised and marginalized staff people in my meetings feel heard for the first time, many times in an organization that's done them harm, that they have a space where they matter, where their voices matter. And it's because the foundation that I built into how I operate as a person, as a business owner, as a facilitator is very much in this. I've just had so much goodness come out of this, from small things to huge things, that I can't get enough and I'm going to keep coming back. Thank you for letting me share that.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. And I appreciate you so much. I would love to open up the floor now in our last few minutes together for those who have questions or even comments for us. And yeah, I'll open the floor now for any questions, either in the chat or on mic.
So I have a question that connects to the idea of little projects, but also of cup runneth over and setting examples. In meetings at my school, one of the coolest things that I've seen is that at the peak of classroom performance, the kids are running the classroom. The expectations, the responsibilities of each student to themselves, to the class, to each other, is just rad to see in action. And I wondered if all that couldn't scroll together to a version of school to school and more a particular class, a particular homeroom of one school and the particular homeroom of another school could exchange quotes of the week and just be in tune teacher to teacher.
Yeah, I would love to realize that vision. My vision is every single teacher in every single classroom at a school doing at least the first 5 minutes of every class a little human values activity. I love the idea of the homeroom. People who don't know what homeroom, it's usually a class where there's not necessarily a subject or a grade, but it's just a class that organizes the kids together to do more activities. Social emotional learning is a good opportunity in those. So to have two schools talk to each other like that, I mean, I know there's a lot of red tape, then organization and planning and communication that goes into that, but that is definitely something that I would love to explore and make happen if possible. Sure.
I'm going to bring it up to my principal when we get back from spring break. I'm at Murray Language Academy. It's an elementary school, but I don't think they'd be shy about connecting to even another high school if it's on this wavelength and it's the right homeroom.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Win. Thank you so much. Let's make that happen, man. I'm excited by that idea. Any other questions, y'all? All right, great to see you. Great to see you, Win. Thank you, everyone. If there are no other questions, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and I can drop the link there just so everyone has it handy. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, there is a scholarship application. Essentially, we will not turn away anyone who is interested in learning about education and human values. And then we also couple that with the reality that, yeah, there's people who are needing some assistance. So this is our scholarship application. You can read all the information there at the top of the form. Proceed with that. And as always, reach out to us if you have any questions at all. Other ways that you can help to support our work, besides, of course, signing up for the Mentors program, there's options to become a one-time donor or a monthly donor. That's clear on every page of our website if you'd like to give or share so someone else can give. We've mentioned getting on the email list already, so that is the very first step so that you can right away start practicing with a group of over 500 community members that are practicing together as part of the Human Values Collective. All the instructions are in the emails. We have brand new, thanks to one of our members, shout out to you, Luis, I know you're watching later. We have an affiliate program. So everyone right now has the ability to go onto our website, create an account on our website, and once you are logged in, you will see an affiliate program button. If you click on that, create an affiliate link for yourself. You can share the Mentors program and any of our programs with your friends and family, and anyone who signs up and pays the tuition for a program, you will get a 10% commission. This goes along with our ideas of trying to make this work sustainable and community driven. And so if it's for us a win-win if more people in your circles learn about our programs and their benefits, and then you get a little bit of a payment out of that, I say that's a win-win. And I'm all about sustainability. What I'm learning about a new word, social sustainability, because I really want us all to have what we need, not just to survive, but for all of us to thrive. And then last one is very simple. Go to YouTube and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can hopefully open up another revenue stream and keep the cost of our program as low as possible. Thank you so much, Christina. I'm happy to know it. It's going to be a really, really fun time together. Yay, excited. Any other questions before we sign off, y'all?
I wanted to share real quick, if no one has a question. My name is Andrea. Hi, everyone. We started this little project that has become a whole organization 6 years ago. And what I love about the mentorship program is last time we had people doing projects for like a high school garden program, then someone talking about like doing art in their workspace, people like with their students, like whatever. For me, it's like a rocket ship for whatever you're wanting to do in your life based on human values, and showing up, the magic of showing up every week. We recently finished a program like that. It is amazing, y'all. I've done many courses, and there's magic in showing up every week when you feel like it or when you don't feel like it, and just receiving that love from the community and from the cohort you're in. So excited for you all, you joining, and yeah, keep close to the fire and connect with us.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Stay close to the fire is right. Andrea will be in there. Andrea actually taught mentors last year, so thank you for your service, Andrea, and everything that you bring to the table. A lot of this stuff I co-create at home with Andrea, so her hand is all over this work, even if I'm the one teaching this year. Jamie's going to be in there this year as well, doing a lot of organizational work behind the scenes. I'm very grateful that you are both here. One of the reasons I wanted to do this community call is so that y'all could feel the vibe, because I can put all this stuff on the website, but if you don't feel the vibe, you know, what is it? What is it? So here you are, you're in the vibe, you're in the frequency. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it so that we have a community of people that care, so it doesn't feel like we're the only ones that care. We care about people. We care about humanity. We care about love. And if we keep working together, we're going to make something really, really incredible and powerful impact on the world. So I'll close by saying, like I always do, you've made today an amazing day just by you being you. There's no one like you in the whole world, and I like you just the way you are. Stay close to the fire. Sign up for the Mentors program. Share it with your friends. Become an affiliate. Subscribe on YouTube. And we're sending you love always, always, always. Thank you, everybody. Send us any questions or follow-ups you would like to, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.